that thing he just did?
Well, I don't know. Well, you're wondering who the guest is? Oh, well, the guest is, for now, is not Shaggy. Well, his real name is Adeshege Adeniji, a super creative with skills in writing, acting, and radio presentation. Thanks for joining us this morning.
It's my honor.
Well, his radio personality is Westside, but now he is Westy Baba.
Yes, all my life I've had nicknames, so I'm used to it from birth to this point.
What was your...
Tell us some of those nicknames.
All right, my real name is Adeshege Adeniji. It's Shegun, actually. So my uncle had his son a week before mine, before my dad had me, and my grandfather is Shegun as well. So he wanted to name his son Shegun. My father wanted to name me Shegun. My father said, father being a funky Yankee doctor, said, so I have a cousin who is Adeshege Hakim Adeniji. I'm Adeshege Hakim Adeniji. So I've had to live with that nickname, you know, going to school, new teachers coming. What's your name? Ayo. What's your name? Emeka. What's your name? Shege Talegbe. So I've had nicknames all my life. So I'm sort of used to it.
So you are not Adeshege?
No, I'm Adeshege. My government name is Adeshege.
Government name?
Yes, official name.
Okay, your government name is Adeshege.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I didn't know that there was Westy Baba somewhere around the corner where you were a radio presenter.
Funny enough, that was also, it was Westside. So yes. When I worked at a particular radio station, a close friend of mine, Nnamdi, used to call me Westy Baba. Westy Baba. He just used to call me that. So when I wanted to open an Instagram account, because I just wanted it to be unique, I just called the Instagram account Westy Baba. So by the time my skits started, getting noticed, that was the name that was available. So I just went with it. So everybody just started calling me Westy Baba too.
But, I find something very interesting, Alero, in that personality of Westy Baba. He's very... Where did that come from itself? Please tell us about that. I'm not the one that's going to say it.
Okay, so I grew up in Lagos Island. My father is a medical doctor, but we were situated right in the center of Lagos Island, Lafayette to be exact. In fact, Vector and I, grew up, he was like 3 or 4 houses away from me.
Who?
So, yeah, Vector, the artist,
okay.
The rapper, yeah. So we grew up right in the hood. There was the silver spoon aspect to a bit, but the fact was the outside was the hood. My father didn't want me to go out that much, read your books. He was till now, a very deep academic and wanted me to be the same as well. But, the streets kept calling.
There wasn't any chance of that.
The streets kept calling, I would, jump the fence, go hang out with the guys in the corner. I got into a lot of trouble, but I picked up a lot of, street sense, as it were, the slang, how to relate with people, even more than I did, in the 4 walls of my house. So by the time my father now left the country, I got into university as early as 16. As soon as I got into university, he said, you know what, you're a man, you can handle yourself, and he went to find greener pastures. So I sort of started taking care of myself from that point. So imagine now I had full access to the streets. So yes, so I absorbed as much as I could, with my background, as a microbiologist, in quotes.
Why do you have to put it in quotes?
Yes, because I've never used that degree. It's a typical Nigerian story. We just go to school, get these bits of paper that will not help us in any way whatsoever. But
Did you go because your father wanted you to go?
I was destined to be the next doctor. I actually...
So you changed your destiny?
Yes, so I wrote JAB, did exceptionally well, but I was about 2 points shy of getting into... getting medicine for University of Lagos. I got into med school for Ibadan, but my father didn't want me to go there. So I switched courses to microbiology, thinking that maybe in a year or 2 I could probably switch to... Yeah, but God knows best. Yeah, so
you really didn't want to be a doctor, did you?
I did. You might not notice or see that, but I'm very nerdy and geeky. So I love science. I got a 2-1 in microbiology, and that was even me not being serious because I was doing drama. I was in Theta 15, the likes of Lay, Bumi Davis, Teju Babyface, Kofi. There was a whole generation being molded at that time you know, that are now doing things today. And I was part of that and still doing school. So yeah, I did like sciences. I would have been a great doctor. You know,
I'm just trying to imagine I'm trying to imagine a Westy Baba doctor.
Yeah, because, you know, I've always wanted to make people laugh. I've done that since I was a kid. You know, there's a bit of a dark background to that, you know, because I was always scared, you know. So to make my environment, you know, safe for me, I tried to make all the people in my environment as happy as I could. So I was always the one trying to be the clown or make you smile or happy. So yeah, I think you know, it would have translated into my medical surgery.
So you're trying to give someone an injection or something, and the person is not lining up, and then the character will come up.
It's just a small pinch. Like, you know, just, you know, calm down. You'll be fine.
Look at the switch.
Yes,
Look at the switch. It didn't even require a thought.
It took a long time to get here, but we're happy we're here.
How did... Okay, go on.
After getting a 2-1 in microbiology,
Yes.
why didn't you consider going on to do medicine?
I'm a big believer in fate. I think everything worked out the way it was supposed to. I didn't get into medical school for a particular reason. I got into microbiology for a particular reason because my very first serious girlfriend was in University of Lagos. And she was the one that pointed me in the direction of Theatre 15 because she saw me, I was always being the clown. She could see something that I couldn't. So she pushed me towards Theatre 15. And that sort of molded my career because I met all the people that are in my life now at that point. So Bumi Davis especially, because we went on to do Stand Up Nigeria, great things. With
yes, that radio commercial.
We were all in that
Stand Up Nigeria.
Yeah. So when I graduated, in fact, when I finished serving, here's fate for you. I got back from camp. The very first day, I was on Awolowo Road trying to get something to eat because I'd been in Kebbi and it was horrible. So I wanted to get real food. And I got out and it was Bumi Davis that I saw outside. Bumi, what's up? You just got back from... I'm just starting this company called Afrotainment Productions. You know, I'm ashamed because we've been doing stage plays in University of Lagos anyway. And he knew that I was very capable at production and writing. He said, let's do this thing together. And I'm not doing anything. You know, let's go. But that was the beginning, and I sort of just went with it. We did stage plays. We started commercializing it, doing stuff for banks like GT. Then that moved me into radio because Bumi introduced me to Femi Showolu. Femi Showolu was the one that now kickstarted my radio career. So as you see, fate led me to each person, each spot. You know, and I just trust the process. You know, I just go with it.
And you just ran with it.
Yes, ma'am.
And you haven't looked back.
Nope.
Any
never.
regrets?
I wish I had started earlier.
That's the only regret.
Yeah,
Too late.
I remember running away from home at I think 7 or 8 years old. And the first time I was on TV, I was about 8 or 9, because I went to Ajao International. It's on Amadou Bello, right beside NTA. So we could see then the porter cabins and whatnot. You know, I'm talking of this is the 80s, you know. So I see the porter cabins. So my friends and I would, you know, jump the fence, go and look at the big satellites. We even met Danla Di Bako at the time. And he was the one that gave us our first, he said, you know, we said we were a group. What we do, we'd mimic rap songs, you know, nothing but sweat. But I still remember the rhymes. You know, we called ourselves the Three Apples. You were like, okay, there's this children's program. They used to do in the afternoon. You know, I could come on down and do it. But remember who my father is. He's not, you know, into that. That was not the kind of household. So my other friends went home to tell their parents, who were quite excited. I could not. So I went home, was quiet, tell Lord, how am I going to do that? No. So the next day I went to school, and they're supposed to come pick me up at a certain time, 1 p.m. or so. The show was supposed to be at 4. So I hid from the guy that was supposed to pick us up. I hid in school. The guy looked for me. There were no phones or anything then, and then left. And then I now jumped the fence. I had a shirt or whatever inside my uniform. I moved it. I was still wearing my school shoes. It looked weird, so I took them off and did the show barefoot. I remember the woman interviewing me. I said, why are you barefoot? I said, that's my style. No, you know. So at the end of the showcase, the parents of my 2 friends ready to take them home. 9-year-old boy, where are you? My friends now tell their parents that I didn't tell my parents. Like, what? Took me home. I remember my father, you know, when they knocked, he looked for me. But yes, he said, we have your son. I don't have a son. Because he had been traumatized looking for me and everything. But just because, and if I had known then that it was actually that limelight calling me, you know, or if he had known and encouraged me a little bit, I think I'd have started much earlier. But he didn't. You know, I didn't discover till 30.
He saw in his son a medical doctor.
And that was
Yes.
it.
Stop.
How did...
Fishes climbing trees?
Yes, exactly. How did public service announcement start?
All right. Okay, so what this is, it was just, it was fortuitous, if I may say so. I was shooting something else in a particular studio. I consult for a company called PGK. So we had shot something, or we were shooting, and I was waiting for the cameraman. You know, and when I'm bored, I've got this because I was raised as an only child. I always entertain myself. If I'm bored, I have ADD as well, so I need to keep doing things to concentrate on the moment. Either I'm scribbling or drawing something, or I'm humming a song, but I always have to stay active so I can concentrate on what I'm doing. So I just whipped out my camera while waiting, you know, and I always used to do that. Mr. Makinde knows this. I've always switched and done Agbero, and I'll do the British without thinking it was anything.
Back to Buffalo Airlines.
Yeah, so it did. So I just did a lot of public service announcement. This is to another area boys have feelings too. You cannot just be, you know, like. I just want you to know that, you know, as an area boy, it doesn't mean that I don't have emotions, you know. I was just messing around, you know, and I posted the video. In fact, I did 2 of them. I did another one, Twale. In fact, it was a Twale one that went viral, you know. Where you see me give you a Twale, you have to book car, you have to pay me money. Twale is not, you know, that kind of, and I forgot about it. It was 6 months later, some random person just posted it on Twitter, and it took off. And because those were the first things I said in that particular video, I was like, okay, and I'm good at branding and understanding how branding works and how to make sure you retain certain things. So I said, okay, you know what, let's stick with the yellow hat. That's what they saw me with, and let's stick with those monikers, public service announcements, sense. And so I put that in everything I did moving forward.
Buffalo Airlines. Have you heard about that? Have you heard that before?
No.
He was going to give you a sample now.
All right. So this is a bit Mr. Makinde's talking.
Of course.
So while I was at Radio Continental, I've always wanted to do Buffalo. Yes. Yeah. So I've always wanted to challenge myself. Broadcasting for me, you know, in fact, I've retired from radio twice because I wasn't challenged. You know, I wasn't challenged anymore. You know, it was the same thing, and I was, you know, good at it. I was bored, and I wanted more. So what I used to do was I tried to bring in more elements to it. So I created this persona because I'd been on a trip to Abuja. And this is not a joke. I will not call out the airline, but we were in the air, and I looked out the window, and I noticed that the air flap, the wing flap, was held down by duct tape. That's... And it was actually, it was flapping. That was the scariest 40 minutes of my life, you know. So, and I said, Buffalo. Do you understand? That's what I said. I said, Buffalo. So I now created this character as a pilot, and his airline is called Buffalo Airlines. They'll get you there dead or alive. So it was sort of, I wanted to just play like a parody on Nigerian airports and the system at that time. Nothing much has changed,
exactly.
But, you know, but at that time, you know, I wanted to just, you know, point a spotlight at that with humor. You know, so there'll be different things happening on the plane. People are selling dodokiri, you know.
In the plane.
His wife pounds yam on the plane, you know, for people. Buffalo. Sometimes things can happen and he can jump out to the parachute and he does wave to you. Like, sorry, you guys figure it out.
Yeah,
Buffalo, like, he used to make announcements.
Yes, this is your captain speaking. I am Captain Chief Dr. Philip. It's been a long time, but I still remember that. Yes.
Chief Doctor.
As you are looking out of your window, you might notice that we are flying close to the ground. We land, so you know. So yes, so I just wanted to add elements.
Christ.
You have also worked with some major players in the industry.
Yes, I have.
How has that played out for you?
That's a loaded question. So I have been very privileged, you know, to be honest, to have worked with, you know, some of the best to do it in all the spheres, from music to stage. You know, I've written and worked as a head of production for Funke Akindele. The very first episode, very first season of Jennifer's Diary, I wrote that with Funke, and I worked on that together. I also worked with her on other projects like Siblings and I, you know, worked with Ali Baba, Bumi Davis. The question you ask is loaded. Why? Because I believe whatever relationships we make, whatever we get out of it is up to us. I've never been a person to feel entitled to anyone being able to do anything for me. But if I have a relationship with you and I feel I can leverage on it, I will. I've not gotten as much as I would have liked, but that's my person. I'm not the person to say, do this for me. I'd rather be in a position where we can do it together. You know, likes of Basket Mouth, you know, I would have loved a situation where I can do more with him on social media for my Westy Baba. But I know how busy he is, and I know how he curates his content. So I can't force him to do that. So those are kind of things that you have to understand. What are you going to get from this? It might not be what you want, but at least have the relationship so the ship can say. At least this ship will me. I'll
Transition again.
Exactly.
Okay.
Without a thought.
Okay,
Yes,
you are going to give us a script in 30 to 45 to 60 seconds.
All right.
And tell young people
Yes.
to get their PVCs when they are released, because registration has stopped.
Yes.
When the PVCs are released, and they should use it to vote.
All right.
So we're waiting.
All right. Can I speak in? We are on sunrise.
No, that's your camera there.
This way, okay, so I can take the camera home when I'm taking you home. Hey, public service announcement. My name is Westy Baba, the educated area boy. See, let me not even lie to you, but listen to me. 2023, one chance. Not one chance, boss you. One chance, because if you do not do the right thing, we have entered 8-year one chance bus. If you do the right thing, you are good to go. If you have registered for your PVC, make sure you collect it. Last one, use your heart to vote. Whether you are obedient, you articulate, you are batified, democracy, use your brain, use your heart. Be sincere. Thanks so much.
Be sincere. What does be sincere mean?
It means just use your intelligence, you know, be smart. So I do that to show, I like to put moral lessons in most of my skits. So at the end, think about what I just told you. So be sincere.
Be sincere.
The popular one was Be Body.
Yes.
Yes.
No, but this one is sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But body, you can call it my sense more.
So what's next for Westy Baba?
I'm pretty excited. Lots of opportunities opening up. I'm back on radio fully. You know, I'm excited about that.
After
you retired twice.
Twice.
Now you're back for the third time.
No, he didn't resign. He
Retired. No, he said
yes.
retired. Yeah.
Yes. This should be the stint that, you know, after this, I probably will retire permanently, because I have like a 5-year plan, you know. But the station I'm with now, I joined them because I was excited about the prospects and the youthfulness, and I'm seeing that, so I think I'll be okay there for a while. But I'm doing a lot more of consultancy now. I believe in multiple streams of income. So why have all this gray matter if it's not going to bring green matter? So I've been doing some consultancy gigs, and looking forward to do more. For the character Westy Baba, by the end of the year, you'll be seeing some movies in the cinema that I've been doing with some big acts, yes.
No less.
I should be shooting something with Tony Abraham. I have shot something with Tony Abraham. I'm doing another cinema movie with her maybe next month. We're shooting something next month as well. So I'm looking for those collaborations now. But as you say, I always follow the flow, as I said earlier. You know.
I'm just trying to imagine. You said we remade the other time. I'm trying to imagine a Tony Abraham and Westy Baba on set.
Oh God.
I can't.
So imagine the three of them together.
I don't even want to go there.
Collapse.
Want to go
Collapse.
There. Adeshege.
Yes, sir.
West Side.
Yes, sir.
Adeniji.
Yes, sir.
Super creative Westy Baba. Educated Omota.
Educated area boy.
Educated area boy. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much.
And Westy Baba closes our show for today. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll bring you a fresh edition next week. I'm Alero Edu, wishing you a happy weekend, and see you next week.
I'm Ayamakinde. Business here. Twaliu.
Twale.